Hello Capricorn, thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Cosmic Slumber Tarot by Tilly Walden. Website on the bottom is liminal11.com. Feel free to check that out if you'd like to. Supportive Oracle cards, Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacy DeMarco. Website on the back of this box, rockpoolpublishing.com.au, A as in apple, U as an umbrella. Feel free to freeze frame on any of that if you would like that information, of course. Okay. What do we have for Capricorn? Can we get along? Opposing forces, maybe? That almost seems very equal to me. That card keeps coming out today. Okay. The first card out, because it's a Capricorn reading especially, is a good card because it's your card. The Devil card is Capricorn. That denotes Capricorn. This says it's a Capricorn energy, Capricorn influence. It also kind of hones it in the sense of, like, if we step away from the Christian feeling about the word devil, and we just take that word out, and maybe we just take out the word devil and put Capricorn here, it's not a bad card. It simply means when you feel something and you stand behind something, you don't let other people sway your opinion. You hold yourself to a standard, even though it may seem very hard. You will not give up on something. You just will not give in. And you will not let other people sway you. And sometimes it can be very burdensome to other people. It doesn't have to be a bad card. It also means going through the trials and tribulations and finding out what's really not working so you can improve something. It's kind of like, I'm going to do it the hard way the first time. I'm going to remember how hard it was, and then I'm not going to do it the same way. I'm going to learn from that, and I'm going to upgrade my plan. So where are we going with this is a great question. Because I feel like there's something you've been doing, something you've been working on. You've been holding the line for quite a long time. But you're coming to the spot with the Devil card where I feel like this is an empowerment moment for Capricorn. And whoever you are, if you're not a Capricorn and you're watching this video, it's an empowerment moment for you. Looking at what's really going on in this situation, realizing I've been holding the line, I've been holding it very strong. It doesn't look like it's going to end the way it's currently going. The question is this now worth it for me? I'm looking at this with the opposing card of the Chariot. And I call it the opposing card for Capricorn, especially because it talks about Cancer. On the astrological wheel, Cancer and Capricorn are opposites. It's very interesting because both of them are very much about family, but in totally different ways. They do things completely differently, and they can slowly but surely grate on each other's nerves to the point where they learn to, like, really not like each other very intensely. They can. Not always, but they can. It's one of those things where they get along fairly well in the beginning, but the longer they deal with each other, especially the more direct they deal with each other, they can start really not liking each other. And the longer it goes, the worse it could get. That's just... It could. When you get the Seven of Swords on its side, it's kind of like... I feel like this is that moment where you're like, I'm not getting the value out of this. And you have to ask yourself, at what point do you see yourself in this situation getting the value that you want? Or at least some type of retribution? Retribution? That seems like a weird word to use there. Some type of balance. Do you, at any point going forward with what you're doing, do you see it going even partially your way? And I feel for a lot of you, if this reading is going to hit, there's a certain relative I have that's a Capricorn, and I can see them saying this. It's not about the outcome. It's about the principle. I've heard them say it many times. Like for the principle or for the, you know, there's a reason they're not letting go, and it's like they're just not willing to let go of something because it's not right, and that's how they feel. Are they getting what they want out of the situation? No, but they're not letting somebody else have their way because of the principle of the situation. It is a Capricorn that I'm noticing that I've heard them say that a few times throughout my life. Thankfully not to me. I'm usually like, all right, if you need it, it's yours, take it. I don't care. Not that easily, but I'm like, I'll just walk away. I'll go do something else. The question is, how much farther do you want to go with this? Because holding on to this principle is a never-ending story. It's totally your business if you're going to keep doing that, obviously. Because I'm getting like, I'm holding the ground, I'm not letting go, I don't want to let go. I know I'm right, for that reason I'm not letting go. And that is totally your business. I feel like what they're trying to say is also, whatever you're dealing with, whoever you're dealing with, matching that energy. Nobody's giving in here. The question is, what is it taking from you to hold this line? So it's almost like if you're refusing to move your car for whatever reason, how many trips are you missing out on because you're not willing to move your car? How many opportunities are you missing out on because you're like, I will not move my car because I'm not wrong, they're wrong, I know I'm right, so I'm not going to move my car. How many trips, how many things are you going to miss out on because you're not willing to move your car and go anywhere because you're just not going to give in? Doesn't mean you're wrong. You can be flat out right, but I see like whatever it is, and this is interesting. The other side feels like they're just as right as you. And it's like they're matching this energy. They're literally matching this energy. This card coming in, I usually like it in this deck, but right now it feels like, it does feel like that masculine, I will not back down, I am not supposed to back down, I need to hold the line, that's what I'm supposed to do, so therefore I will not back down. I feel bullied. If I feel bullied, I will not back down. The other side is not willing to back down any more than you are. The question is this even worth it anymore? That is your business to decide if that's right or wrong. That is totally your business. Page of Fire and the Sun card. So that's interesting with the Page of Fire for you, because I'm getting to change this seems oddly simple. Like it's kind of like to change how this is going, because there's no winning in this. This is a situation where it's just stalemate. It's a stalemate. I stop addressing it, and I start centering on what I want. So, for example, you have your car in the driveway. You're not willing to move it because you're not the one who should have to move that because of whatever reason. Instead of looking at it like I don't want to move my car, it's kind of like, well, what do I want to happen in my life? So, say you want to go on a trip. I know this sounds weird because I'm using this car as an analogy, and I'm just kind of trying to follow where this is going, but here we go. Somebody borrowed your car, they parked it on the lawn, it was wrong. You're not willing to move it until they move it. They need to correct what they did wrong. You're not going to move it. You have another option. You could sell it. So you sell the car, somebody else comes, somebody else takes the car away, you sell the car. Now you have money to do different things. You can buy a different mode of transportation. You can pay for an Uber. You can, give somebody gas money to include you in on a trip. You get different options. It seems very benign, but I almost feel like this, instead of like literally moving the car, because I feel like if I'm telling you to just move the car, I just feel like it's going to be like, not doing that. But you could sell the car. Technically you didn't move it, but you sold it. Somebody else took it. They got rid of it. There's a different way out of this situation. It's kind of one of those moments to get creative. If you know a Gemini, ask a Gemini what they think you should do. Because they'll give you 50,000 different options, and you can just choose what one is best for you. Just be aware that they're going to give you 50,000 different options if there's somebody you're compatible with and they like to talk to you. Gemini is a good one. Air signs are smart anyway, so if Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but Gemini might be willing to kind of try to see this your way and try to give you options that they feel like can get you out of this situation that won't drive you completely mad. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you have to find a Gemini, but you might just know somebody who has that, like they can see a thousand different angles to something. If you know somebody like that, they don't have to be a Gemini, but like talk to somebody, see what they think. Talk about what you wanting to change this, and you're just kind of like, I don't want to move the car, but what other options do I have? You might be surprised. Somebody might give you an option that you can consider and roll around in your head and decide, maybe this or maybe that with a little bit of a twist. Something like that. Because it's kind of like, we can hold on to this forever if you want to, but this reading is coming to you about this situation. Like, you know, plan to retire with this situation if you want to, because it's never ending. It's literally never ending. Oh, that's brutal. If this is a person that you just constantly don't like dealing with, by the way, this is brutal. Maybe it's time to disconnect yourself from them permanently in a positive way. You know, nothing malicious or evil, nothing like that. But like the analogy I got, if you're married to somebody and you're constantly having this battle of wills and it's just constantly fight after fight, maybe you don't need to be married to that person. That's subjective. Take that with a grain of salt. You know if that's right or wrong. If that's not an option, then it's not an option. But I feel like that's why I said it's brutal. It's kind of like, maybe it's, if this person is constantly in your life, but they're constantly doing these things, and you're holding ground constantly and just more and more unhappy, this person isn't good for your life. Doesn't mean they're a bad person, they're just not good for your life. Because I feel like if we can disconnect from this, your energy lifts very quickly. Ironically, very quickly. Once you find a resolution for this, for example, the whole car thing, once you sell that car, the way I feel about Capricorn is like, well, that person's not going to get another chance to do that to me. Whoever that person was, whatever they did, they don't get another chance to make this type of situation. That was their chance. They made me that mad. It lasted that long. They're off limits. They're not getting anything else from me. We're done. Your energy lifts. I feel like your energy lifts so much that you start going in a different direction. And other people seem to be congregating around you. What is this card? Protection. You're very selective anyway. You're very selective anyway. But I feel like with that energy being omitted, I don't feel like we have an issue anymore. It's going to like really lift the energy in your life. You might be surprised at how much better your life is. I've known people like this, where they leave a job and it's kind of like while they were at that job, they were the biggest jerk. I'm sorry, but I don't know if this person I'm thinking of was a Capricorn or not. I have no idea. But when they were at that job, they were a jerk. I was nice to them and they said some rotten things to me just for no reason. I would smile and say something nice and they would just give me some type of insult and I'm just like, I don't even know what I did to you. But later on, I found out that it wasn't my fault at all, and it was just that they were constantly unhappy and they were taking it out on everybody. But once they got out of that job, it's like a whole different person emerged. It was completely different. I was completely shocked about that too. Your energy is going to lift and your life will get a lot better. There is a little caveat here at the end. Caveat, if I dare. We want to recognize this pattern for what it is. It is a pattern. It's definitely a pattern. Because when I'm seeing these two, they're equal. I read male and female as equal. I don't put one above the other at all. I don't really, I mean, I feel like you shouldn't. They're both equal. That's how I feel. This, like, you notice, it's the prince and princess. To me, they're equal. They're coming at each other. This is coming around again. I feel like this is going to come around again. This situation is going to start again with somebody else, very mild, where you're going to realize somebody has this will and they're not backing down and they're starting in the very beginning. It's kind of like, it's a little annoying, but I can handle it. See it for what it is. What's a little annoying today is completely obnoxious tomorrow. When you see it happening again, distance yourself from somebody who's like that. If they start getting on your nerves, like it's not that bad, but they're kind of annoying to me, disconnect from that right off the bat. Disconnect from them. Don't play that game with them. I feel like if you look in this situation, whoever this person is, they probably annoyed you in the very beginning, but it wasn't that bad. And this isn't about like pointing blame at anybody. This doesn't make it anybody's fault. Who they are and who you are just did not mesh. But it's kind of like in the beginning, I thought I could handle it. I thought it was fine. But then over time, it just got worse and worse and worse. Before we even get into that type of pattern again, I feel like we just nip it in the bud and we just disconnect from that person. Nobody's the bad guy here. I don't feel like you or the other person is a bad guy. Nobody's a bad guy. It's just you don't match up. You just don't, like, certain people we just clash with. I feel like that's very hard for some people to realize. Like, nobody's a bad guy if we just see things differently to the point where we drive each other nuts. If we're different like that, it just means we're not compatible and we just go our separate ways. And it's seeing it that way when it starts. Kind of like, I don't need to label that person as a bad guy. It doesn't make me a bad guy, person, whatever. But it's kind of like seeing it for what it is and like, before this becomes an issue, let's not have it an issue. And I'm just going to thank you, but no thank you, and I'm going to move on from that connection. I have seen it where people, maybe they're in the same friend group or the same employment group where they work with somebody like this, and they just emotionally disconnect from that person from the very beginning. They just don't hang out with them outside of work. They try to stay out of things that this person is connected with in work. And, when they have to work with them, they just set the rules about how they're going to handle that person. I know this person's going to kind of trip me every now and then. I'm going to do my best to not react to it, and I'm just going to make this a short-term engagement as much as I can. So it's kind of seeing the pattern for what it is. It's not about blaming anybody. It's just kind of like, I've gone through this. I don't want to go through this again. When I see it starting, I'm simply going to disengage from it because I don't want it. Because the battle of wills is not worth it. The battle of wills is not worth it. Is that good? All right, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day.